Hello, trophy hunters. I'm going to set you up for the Family Feud trophy here. You got to help Emma kill Alexa. Now, for this, we're going to travel to Dartmoor in England and then follow the story path A Day to Remember. And then I'm going to select the garden as my starting point. Select whatever you want, but the garden is where we're going to start this quest for the trophy. Now, for this, what we need to do is get to the story path and ultimately take a family portrait. At that point, everyone's going to reconvene inside, and we need to poison Alexa. Now, to do this, let me just kind of walk through the day to remember portion of the quest here. You need to first listen in on this conversation here with the maid and the photographer. We are ultimately going to take the photographer's disguise, but we have to first wait for this conversation here to end. I'm a little too close, so I'm going to have to back away. So what I'm going to do is go to the other side of this fountain, and there's going to be a wrench. We're going to use this wrench inside the greenhouse in a moment. But first, I'm just going to pick it up and then work on getting my disguise here with the photographer. He's going to eventually walk away. I'm going to just follow behind him, and I'm going to grab him, and I'm going to actually stuff him in the box very close to where I started in the garden area. Now, all in all, this isn't actually very difficult. You will spend more time just sitting and waiting, doing nothing to get this trophy. But there's a lot of other things you can do. There's a lot of intel and evidence and such you can seek out if you like, find the case file. So there's time to do other stuff, but I'm just going to really kind of focus here on the trophy requirement. Okay, so I'm going to follow the photographer, take him out right about here, and then drag him back and then put him in that box. But first, let's get the disguise, because that is the first outfit we will need to use. Okay, so now I'm going to drag him in here, and now I need to find a fuse cell. But before I do that, I'm actually going to travel to the greenhouse. There's two things we're going to do over here. One is get the crowbar. The crowbar is actually going to be behind the greenhouse. It's going to be on a box around the back side of it. Now, once you have the crowbar, we can now use the crowbar to enter the greenhouse, unless you set yourself up with a lockpick or something. Now I'm going to break in through this door here. I am playing on the easier difficulty here for the purpose of getting this trophy. So I don't think either of these other two guys are going to take notice to me breaking in. And then I'm going to head over to the distillery over here in the back right corner. I'm going to pick the flour and then pick up that and then mix it inside of here. You need the wrench in order to fix this distillery. So that's why we had to get the wrench earlier. And we've now crafted our poison. This is the poison that we're going to use to assassinate Alexa. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of go back to the story path here and follow the quest marker. Start with finding a fuse cell, which of course we need the crowbar in order to access this as well. And once we've opened this up, we're going to take the fuse and put it in a different box. And that is going to fix the flash problem for the photographer. Most of all, this is pretty simple, pretty easy, and if you're just following the quest, you should be fine. You just got to make sure you get the poison. That's the one thing the quest doesn't really ever ask out of you. Okay, so now you got to come back. You're going to take a test picture here with the maid. Assuming everything works just fine, the maid is then going to text the rest of her family. The rest of the family will then meet you down here. So we are going to have to wait about 2 minutes for that to happen, which I can skip past here in just a moment. This is also a time where you can go to the greenhouse if you want to get the fix up your poison. There's also poison in other locations within the house. It's just the greenhouse is closest.
Family photo shoot. Let's see if any memorable moments will play out in front of the camera.
Okay, so eventually, again, 2 minutes later, the family is going to assemble. You're going to have to take a couple photos. And once this is done, she's going to call a meeting. Alexa is going to call the meeting in the sitting room inside the house. So this is going to be the point where we're going to quickly run inside. We're going to get a new disguise, a disguise of a bodyguard, and then we're going to go in and poison her drink. So let's do all of that before she gets inside. It makes it a little bit easier. This is also a prime spot to create a manual save in case you screw something up. So now we're going to head to the trophy room. That's right, the trophy room. I said it. It is this room of the house. I'm going to go in through the window back here. There's going to be one bodyguard in here. One guard, and we're going to take him out and take his disguise. Once I've got that disguise, I'm going to quickly run into the sitting room and place the poison that I acquired in the greenhouse from the distillery, and I'm going to place it into the glass at the bar. Now I'm sprinting, I'm running because I want to beat everyone here. There's going to be a couple other guards there. So I'm going to throw a coin and make them turn their back just so I can do this without them seeing me. If they spot you, it's no big deal. Just run away and you can come back a few minutes later. Because you've got about 7 minutes now before Alexa is going to drink out of this glass.
Hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here.
There we go. And that's actually everything I need to do. There's nothing else. I can just sit in the corner if I want. The trophy will eventually pop if I do nothing else. Now what happens is Alexa is going to come in and call a family meeting. She's going to give a speech. She's then going to go wander around the rest of the house for the next 5 minutes after that. And that is to give you time to plan assassination attempts at various other locations within the house. But we don't want to do that because we won't need her to drink the poison in order to get the Family Feud trophy. So right now I am skipping, fast forwarding through this real quick. It's going to be about 6 minutes from when I started fast forwarding here. We got it down to about 30 seconds. And here we go. She's going to walk in the room from the left-hand side, pick up a drink. As soon as she drinks it, it'll kill her, and you'll be the owner of the Family Feud trophy. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys can be a dear and hit that like button, and of course subscribe if you're a trophy hunter, and I will see you soon.
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.